to the sun with me, so I can show you something you've never seen. And both you and I shouldn't be too shy about letting go for once. Come and be free with me. Just look straight ahead, don't you stay behind, don't stay behind. Trying to make you feel right, 'cause our stars are aligned. Can I make up your mind? Follow me to the light, there is so much we can do in this life. Let it sink in, this is where we begin. All that you need to know, now that you understand what I'm trying to show you, is that you and I shouldn't be too shy about letting go for once. Come, let your spirit glow. Just look straight ahead, don't you stay behind, don't stay behind. Try to make you feel right, 'cause our stars are aligned. Can I make up your mind? Follow me to the light, there is so much we can do in this life. Let it sink in, this is where we begin. Follow me to the light, there is so much we can do in this life. Let it sink in, this is where we begin.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Grind Fantasy live stream. This is an NBA 3-game slate. Cannot wait to break it down. Just an FYI before we start, guys. This music was sent in by Kevin, one of our analysts. He wanted this broadcasted live on the stream. One of his favorite songs he mentioned to us. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and dive right into the slate, TJ. Cannot wait to do this. I'm actually kind of being sarcastic here, TJ. We have 3 games and we have no value. What are we doing? What are we going to do here? I know you guys are all thinking the exact same thing, so let's go ahead and just dive right into this. Right now, the Lakers don't have anybody out noteworthy. Milwaukee has nobody out. Frank is out, or at least doubtful for New York. Austin Rivers is doubtful, so I guess we can pay a little bit of attention there. I had somewhat of a feeling, TJ, for Golden State that someone would sit on the back-to-back. We have no injury report yet for them.
Didn't play a lot of minutes.
Yeah, well, I wonder why. Spurs suck.
Because your Spurs are trash.
They are trash. New Orleans, nobody, and then with Utah, nobody. So we literally have no value, TJ. So let's just dive right into it. Let's go over some of the chalk plays. Let's start with the Lakers and Milwaukee. Right now, they have a 228.5 over/under. Obvious game to be playing in. Milwaukee's a 2-point favorite. They are the home team. Initially, the Lakers opened up as slight favorites. What are your thoughts here on Milwaukee and the Lakers?
Yeah, so this is the game that I think everybody is going to want to attack, Matt. It's only a 2-point favorite right now for the Bucks at home. It's the highest over-under currently that we have on the slate in this small 3-game slate at a 228. We have all the studs from this game. We got Giannis, we have AD, we have LeBron, we have Middleton, we got Drew Holiday in there. So I think this is a game that I'm going to want to be targeting, especially in cash. And a lot of the chalk is coming from this game, Matt. We're currently seeing Chris Middleton and LeBron James as the two chalkiest plays on the slate. And I mean, seeing LeBron at 9,200 is just a very weird price tag. We've seen a lot of games from LeBron and AD this year where they really haven't had to play in the fourth quarter, excuse me. And even with that being said, like they really haven't needed their A game coming from LeBron and AD because I feel like they have some significant pieces behind them that could pick up the slack.
There it is.
Chips is sprinting on the couch and chasing his ball. So, yeah, I think in a competitive game, we can see LeBron and AD both playing, high 30 minutes. This is a game where they're going to need both of them to be highly competitive and be able to keep up with the Bucks, I think. So, yeah, I really like this game. I really like LeBron at that price tag at 9,200. He's my favorite Lakers value, actually, after running numbers, Matt. Him and Caruso at 3,200. And then on the Bucks side of the ball, Middleton is my favorite value after running numbers. I currently have Middleton at 7,600 at a 1.25 fantasy point per minute, projected at 44 DraftKings points. So the ownership is telling me LeBron and Chris Middleton for cash. I think you need two of these four studs tonight in Giannis, AD, LeBron, and Middleton. And my two favorite plays are going to be LeBron and Middleton from this game.
Completely agree with everything you said. There's nothing like trying to select from the top four studs in a matchup when they're all priced so awkwardly where you can't get three, possibly even four of them. But yeah, I think in this scenario, TJ, you got to take the cheaper of the two. Got to take Middleton. Got to take LeBron. I was reading an article on offensive efficiency on Middleton, and apparently, I want to hear your take on this. He's as good as Jason Tatum individually. Do you agree with that? Just want to hear.
Yeah, he's very good. He's a very good jump shooter. Yeah, no, I do like Middleton. He's very good on the offensive side of the ball. So I can see that. I mean,
he's so underrated.
He takes smart shots and he doesn't really force it. So that makes sense to me. Tatum's only 19, so he'll come into himself a little bit more as he grows up. But I don't know if that stat will hold true in a couple of years. That's what she said. I don't know if that was a slight at one of my Celtics, Matt.
I actually read that this morning.
I'm kidding. You were comparing. No, that makes sense. Middleton's a fantastic offensive weapon, especially for the Bucks. So.
And yeah, in a game where they can both play, upwards of 35 minutes, talking about all the studs here, they're all in play. I'm not going to be against you if you play Giannis and cash. I'm not going to be against you if you play AD. You can even talk about matchup. It might actually favor AD more so because he's going against somebody like Brook Lopez. They're going to probably utilize him a little bit more than LeBron. You could say that. But again, LeBron hasn't been playing the minutes that we're used to seeing him play. I think this is going to be very competitive, just like Vegas said. And I cannot wait to watch it. Starts off 7:30, right? Yep, 7:30. I'm going to be watching it. So, yeah, I think those are all cash options. In terms of value, let's go back to the Lakers, TJ. Do you just like Caruso for value? Like, where are we looking? There's absolutely no value. I can make a case for KCP. Do you have any thoughts on him?
You really want to bring up KCP? No, I think for me, it's probably going to be Caruso if he can get those 20 minutes. He would be my second best value on the Lakers, Matt. At 3,200, I would have Caruso if he played 20 minutes pegged at 17 DraftKings points. So if you do the math, that would be paying off that 3,200 price tag. So I do like him as a punt and last piece in cash for tonight. Nothing that really jumps out at you. He's a 0.85 fantasy point per minute, which is pretty good. It's just the minutes haven't really been there because they have so many guys. They got Schroeder, they have LeBron, they have KCP, Wes Matthews in the mix. So there are some guys that are playing, in that backcourt. But I do like Caruso. I don't hate Montrez at 5,200. He's carrying some ownership as well. So I guess you could go there as a last piece, somebody that's been pretty consistent for the Lakers and, could see some meaningful minutes, especially in this competitive game. KCP, Matt, at 3,700, I guess I don't hate him. I would prioritize Caruso over KCP, but LeBron and I think Caruso would be my two favorites here, most likely followed by Anthony Davis. I think AD, obviously, but it is going to be tough to get both of them in a lineup.
I personally just like KCP just because of minutes. You guys know my my spiel on minutes, and you got to prioritize that over offensive efficiency. Even if they're playing like only 18, 19 minutes, you're taking a huge risk if they don't get any shots up. So I definitely like KCP for value, but I do like the Milwaukee side a lot more. I'll tell you why. DiVincenzo is only $4,900, playing 28 minutes. He's going to be a starter. Again, this is an up-paced game. This is going to be a competitive game. I think he's flying under the radar, TJ. I actually like him for value. $4,900. Another guy that's going to be sticking out to me here is, why can't I find his name? Brook Lopez, $5,100, 32 minutes. A bad matchup, but still, they're going to need him out there. What are your thoughts on those two value plays?
Yeah, I was going to say between the two of Brolo and Dante, I think I lean Brolo a little bit more because they are going to need his size. I'm trying to think if they're going to utilize Bobby Portis here. He hasn't been playing as many minutes off the bench as of late. And at 4,300, I really like him as a tournament play. But in terms of cash, Matt, yeah, for me, it's probably going to be Middleton over Giannis, especially. I can save $3,000. I don't expect Middleton to put up the same production as Giannis, but it's a tough slate in terms of value. So if I can save $3K and maybe get a guy that can compete with Giannis on their own relative scales based on their price tag, then I will take that. Drew Holiday is the one guy, Matt, that I also really like. He pops on the sheet as well. He's a 1.07 fantasy point per minute. He is going to see probably 35 to 38 minutes if this game is competitive. So I don't hate landing on Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton here. And then if you want to throw a third in there, Brolo and Dante, I think I lean Brook Lopez right now. I think he'll play more minutes than Dante as long as he can stay out of foul trouble. And yeah, that's kind of my general thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Middleton's going to be a lock for cash. I really like Drew Holiday too if you're landing there at 6,600. And then if I had to pick a third guy between Brook Lopez and Dante, I would lean Brook Lopez.
I think Drew Holiday's prize pick projections like at 32. All the members, I told them to slam that over. Yeah, so I think he was very underpriced. Same thing with Middleton, TJ. He was at 37. I think he easily hits that over, assuming it stays competitive. I actually like all the overs on, if you guys haven't signed up for prize picks, promo code below. All the projections on these guys are very, very low. I would take advantage of that now, especially if it stays competitive. All these guys are going to hit the over.
But yeah, and I think real quick, I just want to say, I think one of these three between KCP, Caruso, and Pat Connaughton slams value tonight. I think it's going to be one of those three guys.
Why do you think that?
I just think the highest over under, very cheap. Guys that probably are projected around 18 to 20 minutes, KCP being the exception, who will probably play around 25. But a guy like Caruso and Connaughton, if they can come in and be efficient, they can get 22, 24 minutes, depending on how their play is. More so Connaughton than Caruso. I think Caruso's kind of tapped out around, 22-ish as a max. So I think one of those guys could be really could find themselves in the optimal, I guess, is what I'm kind of looking for.
Yep, on the 3-game slate, definitely like that. By the way, TJ, we just got a $2 donation. Thank you so much, man.
Hey.
J3, appreciate all the free content. Thank you. Really do appreciate that. Let's go on to the next game. So I guess anything else. What's up? Did you say let's do it?
I said let's do it.
I thought I heard you right. All right, so anything else but this first game is going to be contrarian in terms of picking out superstars. And when I talk about superstars, I'm talking about Zion. I'm talking about Brandon Ingram from this game. I'm also talking about Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell. For cash, TJ, do you have any interest in either one of these studs on this team? We'll start out there.
For who? Utah?
Let's go ahead and start with the Pelicans.
Okay, I didn't know which way you were going. Sorry, because I thought you said the next game. I thought we were going.
I'm sorry.
Knicks and Golden State. That's where my brain was. For the Pelicans in cash, I would probably prefer Zion just because of the $800 salary save. Honestly,
it's the first time you said that all season.
Yeah, I know it is. No, last game I actually talked about it too, to be honest with you, but I'm not gonna toot my own horn. No, I think I would go Zion. He is cheaper, and he rates out a little bit better on the sheet. I have him pegged at 38.4 DraftKings points, and then I have BI projected at 40.2. So if you take their salaries into consideration, I have Zion slightly rated higher than I do Ingram tonight. Pretty tough matchup against a potential defensive player of the year again in Rudy Gobert. So, Zion and Steven Adams will have their work cut out for him down low, but Zion's a big boy. He can handle himself against Gobert for sure. So yeah, I do. And I mean, he just did it last game. They literally just played 2 days ago. So I do like Zion if I'm going there between those two studs. if I'm looking anywhere else, Matt, Eric Bledsoe is very cheap at 5,300. So I don't hate him as a last piece in cash. If you are going there, he is carrying a little bit of lower ownership, but I think there is some upside there. So if you want to call him more of a tournament play, that's fine. I have him at 8%. I kind of thought he'd be carrying a little bit higher ownership than that.
13.3, so you're not too far off.
Okay, so maybe with Lonzo back, that's kind of affecting what people might think of Eric Bledsoe, but I do think that price tag is very cheap. So
yeah,
I don't hate him there, especially on this 3-game slate. I don't really have too much interest here. I can tell you confidently that I don't think any of these guys are gonna end up in my cash lineup.
Okay.
If Lonzo Ball is gonna play his normal minutes, 35, which I doubt, then yeah, at 5,500, I would really like him. But besides that, I don't really have too much interest here in the Pels.
I think you're going to have to choose someone in the center spot in the mid-range. I'm talking about Steven Adams or Brook Lopez, at least for cash, for value.
Yeah.
I don't think Steven Adams is a bad choice. Playing 32 minutes, he got pummeled in the last game, but again, that was more of a blowout. I guess you can consider 16 points a blowout. I haven't taken a look at the popcorn chart, but I can only assume he didn't play a majority of the fourth, just based on the point spread there. I don't know if you want to pull it up, TJ, but
he didn't play a minute in the fourth quarter.
There you go.
He got no time in the
24 minutes is what he played last game. You can only expect TJ is going to be playing about 32, which is his normal projected minutes. So if people are going to be off of Steven Adams, and if he's only showing 16.7%, I really do like him for GPPs, assuming that they can keep it close. And I think that's a nice pivot off of somebody like Brook Lopez, or really anybody at the center position, really. All he has to do is go out there and grab a couple rebounds. I mean, 5.7K is definitely obtainable. He only has to get to 30 points to slam value, to get five times value. I think he makes for a decent option in both cash and GPP. Because of his ownership, I'm definitely going to prefer him for GPP. But yeah, like you said, Zion is the obvious choice. Don't mind landing on him. Don't prioritize him, but I think his ownership is definitely noteworthy, 23.6%, and he did just play Utah, did pretty well, did hit value and then some. Don't mind any one of these guys. The big question mark is going to be whether Lonzo Ball plays 29 plus minutes. They haven't projected at 29, which is why I say that. 5.5K, I could definitely see you taking stabs at him for GBP. Projection on him is also is at 21 right now on PrizePicks, just an FYI. If they're really projecting him at 29, I told people to hit the over on that. This should be competitive, more competitive than last matchup. Yeah, I know. These premium PrizePicks guys, I was 4 for 4 the other night, or last night. So just saying. And yeah, I do like him to play more than about 25-ish minutes, so definitely an interesting GPP option there. But other than that, let's go ahead and move on to the next team, Utah. Do you have any interest in Utah for cash?
Yeah, Rudy Gobert at 7,200. 1.23 fantasy point per minute. Matt, I have him pegged at 40.6 DraftKings points, so do the math at 7,200. I have him at a 5.64 value. I mean, I don't understand why he got the price reduction again. He just went up against the Pelicans and went for 46.5 points, and now they're going to drop him $400. It doesn't make sense to me. And that was only in 30 minutes. So, if he can play 34, 36 minutes in a competitive game, like he can easily hit value at 7,200. So he's one of my, I guess, favorite cash plays, honestly.
Okay.
I think that price tag is way too cheap for him. Conley, again, 6,500. I think he's pretty cheap. I have interest in a lot of these Utah Jazz, honestly. Bogdanovich at 5K, very cheap. I think he's a good filler for cash. He's been playing really well. Someone Morph asked if Royce O'Neal is going to be a lock. Yeah, no, not Royce O'Neal tonight. Dude, Ingles 4,300 really hasn't been playing too many minutes, just coming back from the injury.
It sucks because I would love him at that price tag.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna play 24 minutes, Matt, like I don't see why he's a bad play. Honestly, I would have him at a 20.6 DraftKings points, so a little bit low. But a guy that can get hot from three, like on a slate where you need value, like Joe Ingles at 4,300 is kind of staring me in the face. But my favorite plays are probably going to be Rudy Gobert and then Bogdy, and then I think Mike Conley would be my third favorite play here.
In terms of cash, I'm probably only going to consider Rudy Gobert, and if you land on Royce O'Neal or Joe Ingles as your last spot, I don't hate it.
I think you go Bog. If you can get to Royce O'Neal, squeeze that extra 200 and try and get to Bogdy. If you can get to
not a bad
Bogdanovich
option either. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would be my second favorite option.
But again, I'm not prioritizing these guys in cash. I'm kind of landing on them as a last spot. I think I'm still leaning on those Milwaukee guys. Like I would honestly like DiVincenzo just because of the pace and Brook Lopez. So I think they're just safer. Last but not least, the New York Knicks, Golden State Warriors. Like I said, Golden State Warriors are coming off a back-to-back, if you want to consider it that, what they did to the Spurs. Let's start out with the New York Knicks. We have Julius Randle, power forward eligible, which is keeping his ownership up, TJ. 30.5% owned, smash spot, I would say. Good matchup. Decent pace for the Knicks. I guess that's not true. 105, definitely not that high. What are your thoughts on Julius Randle for cash?
Yeah, I mean, 8,800 for Julius Randle. I mean, this is a guy, Matt, that started out the year at 6,900, and now we've seen him, in the middle of 9K for a majority of these last couple weeks, down to 8,800. Fantastic matchup against Golden State and the bigs that they have in Wiseman and Draymond. So it is a very favorable matchup for Randle. He is carrying some ownership, and rightfully so. I think it's pretty tough to build a lineup if you are prioritizing like a Gobert, one of Giannis and one of Middleton, and then one of AD and LeBron, and then being able to fit in Randle and still filling out your lineup to where you think it's something that you can actually compete with. So the ownership is there for Randle right now. He's showing 31.4% ownership, Matt, which is third highest on the slate right now. Excuse me, I misspoke. Fourth. That is the seventh highest over here on Roto.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it is a good spot, so it makes sense to me. And this is a guy that can play 40 minutes if the game is competitive. We've seen it numerous amount of times. So Golden State on a back-to-back. Obviously, they didn't really have to use too many of their starters last night, especially in that fourth late with the blowout to the Spurs. So I'm not really too worried about that aspect from Golden State. But, hey, they're 4-point dogs on the road, that being the Knicks. So if they can keep it competitive and Randle plays 40 minutes, I think he can pay off that price tag at 8,800.
Oh, easily. Yeah, no, definitely cash viable. Do you have any interest in any one of these guys? We got a lot of quick league questions in the Discord, actually. You can't hate what he's been doing, but I hate his minute production. Do you think he plays any more minutes than 19 tonight?
Well, you got Frank out and you have Rivers out, but you do have Alec Burks coming back. So I would assume Burks is on a minute restriction. Peyton's going to get his 30 to 32 minutes if it's competitive. If Alec Burks is on a minute limit, I mean, RJ Barrett's going to play 40 minutes if it's competitive. So I think there's about 20 to 22 minutes for Quickly. At the 4,100, I wouldn't mind him, but more of a tournament play for me, especially with Alec Burks being back. So yeah, I don't really have too much interest. I think someone said Obi Toppin in the chat as well. He's just not going to play minutes. So my only real interest here in cash is going to be Julius Randle. I like Mitchell for tournaments, and I wouldn't hate Quickly for tournaments, but that's kind of it.
Yep, completely agree with everything you just said. One more person I just want to mention just because of the minutes and his price tag, Reggie Bullock, $4,300, 7.8%. You know he's going to get his shots if he gets hot. No, makes for a good GPP option against the Golden State Warriors. Switching over to the Warriors, they're kind of spread out in terms of ownership. We have Andrew Wiggins, $6,200, which is actually relatively cheap, 23.9%. Steph Curry, 9.6K, 23.5%. Wiseman is going to get a lot of love, I feel like, tonight against Randle, 22 minutes, 21.4%, just because of his price tag, $4,500. And Kelly Oubre has been killing it. So 31 minutes, 20.4%. And then we can even talk about Draymond. Like there's a bunch of options here. What are your thoughts here for cash?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good cash options here, Matt, because there are relatively cheap, like Oubre and Draymond Green would probably be two guys that I'm looking at. Steph Curry's really cheap at 9,600 if this game stays competitive. A lot of ownership going to a guy like James Wiseman. Again, this is a pretty good matchup for James Wiseman going down low against Mitchell Robinson. The Knicks currently ranked 27th against opposing centers in the NBA. The only thing I get nervous about is his leash with with Stephen Kerr. And we saw him against the Lakers come out to start that second half against AD and pick up an offensive foul 2 minutes into the third quarter. He didn't see the floor the rest of the game. So it's obviously a learning curve with a guy like James Wiseman, the number 2 overall pick for Golden State. So I just get nervous about the minutes that he'll see. But if he can play, I feel like in a competitive game, he's normally seeing around 22 to 23 minutes. And if he can get that, I have no reason to believe he doesn't pay off the 4,500 price tag. He just played 25 minutes against the Spurs last night, but that was with 5 minutes of garbage time in the fourth quarter to close out that game.
Yeah.
So the only thing I am nervous about with Wiseman is his minutes. But again, Matt, a slate where there isn't too much value, he's carrying ownership. It's a very good matchup against the Knicks big. Yeah. So yeah, I really like him at 4,500. If he can stay out of foul trouble and stay off a Kerr shit list, then yeah, he should play 22 to 24 minutes. And I think he would be very, very viable in cash.
Completely agree with everything you just said. I'm glad we're on the same page for this slate. It's very straightforward, guys. Play 2 studs from the Milwaukee Lakers game in cash and probably even in GPP. It's kind of hard to think one of one of these or two of these four guys won't appear in the optimal, TJ. I think you can agree with that. Right. And then it's going to come down to the mid-range and lower value and who you guys decide there. Let's go ahead and go over that, TJ. Let me ask you this. Value plays. So anything under $5,000. Let's put it at like $5,500.
55. Okay.
Who are your favorite value plays?
For cash or just in general?
Cash.
Okay. If I were to be talking about under 5,500 in terms of cash, are you including Draymond in there?
Let's go ahead and throw him in there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's trash anyway, so he wouldn't make my list.
You just wanted to say that.
Brook Lopez at 5,100, Bogdy at 5K, Wiseman at 4,500, and those would probably be my top three right now. You can throw in a guy like Eric Bledsoe, but more of a last piece if you land there. And then, yeah, Draymond at 55 too. I'm interested to see if we've gotten anything, and if anybody in the YouTube chat has this, a minute restriction for Lonzo, because 5,500 for Lonzo is very cheap. So I'd be interested in that if he's somehow let off the leash and, played 20 minutes last game. I wouldn't expect him to be, playing 36 minutes tonight, but if he can play like 30, 32, or if they're going to hold him at like a 30-minute threshold, like I don't see why he doesn't pay off 5,500. So yeah, Matt, I think Montrezl Harrell's there. I think there's actually a lot of good value here in this 5K range. So Montrez, Brook Lopez, Bohan Bogdy, Dante, like you mentioned, Wiseman. Like I think all these guys are going to be cash viable and carrying ownership, and rightfully so.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah,
No.
I said that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I said Dante. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
DiVincenzo.
Yeah, no, I think my favorite, the more I look at it, I think you convinced me about Bogdanovich. Minutes, usage is going to be there.
Very cheap.
Yeah, very cheap, $5,000. Brook Lopez is going to be there. You always take value centers when you can because they're more of a sure bet to hit value, especially in this matchup where they're going to need Brook Lopez. Another good option. And like I said, I keep looking down at DiVincenzo. Wiseman safe, I guess you could say, just because of the matchup. Minutes do scare me, though. I will say that. Depending on the leash with Steve Kerr. He did play 25 minutes last game, but that wasn't a blowout, so I'm a little iffy there. I'm definitely going to prefer Bogdanovich, though. Probably is one of my favorite value plays on the slate. We just had 300 viewers. Guys, if you could show us some support, hit that like button. I know it's a Thursday night. It's a 3-game slate, but let's try to get to those 380 viewers. Let's try it. We'll break the all-time record, get to 381. I have a lot of things coming down the pike, guys. Trust me. Been working all day on stuff. All right, so let's go ahead, TJ, and go to the questions like we normally do. Actually, do you want to do a cash core?
Sure.
We do that first? All right, let's do cash core. I want to hear yours first.
Okay. You want to hear mine first? No, I went first last night.
Okay. LeBron, Middleton, Anthony Davis, Bogdanovich.
Okay.
Wait, did I say Anthony Davis? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I meant Julius Randle. I'm sorry. Yep. It's going to be LeBron, Giannis. Sorry, LeBron, Middleton. I'm stumbling all over the place.
What's happening? All right,
LeBron,
guys.
Middleton, Randle, and then Bogdanovich. I will mark them on my screen just so you guys don't get confused.
I don't know what just happened
about my stupidity.
I think Matt might have just had a seizure. I think he might have just had a stroke. Yeah. All right. So if I'm talking my cash core, it's going to be Middleton. It's going to be LeBron. It's going to be Rudy Gobert. Okay. And it's probably going to be Wiseman just because he's cheap and he's carrying a lot of ownership. But again, I love Randall, love Bogdy, love Trez.
You like Trez?
I like Draymond Green too. Okay. Yeah, I like Montrez. Yeah, he's cheap. Yeah, I think there's, again, a lot of good value in that high 4, low 5K range for me. But yeah, Middleton, LeBron, Wiseman, and Rudy Gobert would probably be my cash core right now.
Okay.
Drew Holiday, 6,600.
And I don't hate any one of those options either. We didn't even talk about Zion. Like, you can easily throw Zion in there. You can throw Giannis in there. There's so many options, guys. Really, this slate, I hate slates like this because one pick in the wrong direction in terms of picking a superstar is going to throw your entire cash line off.
Yeah,
definitely recommend MME and GPP's tonight.
Yeah, and if you're looking to, I would recommend not throwing too much money on tonight because, anything less than 4 games, Matt, I think you can, like you just said, you miss out on one stud or you have the wrong one, you're putting your lineups in a pretty big hole to overcome. So tread lightly tonight. Don't throw the bankroll down, especially if you did well last night. Wait for tomorrow night where we have 13 games or however many.
Is it really 13?
It's probably like 7 now because everything gets postponed.
13 to 7.
Yeah, probably. It's probably 4.
Can't wait to cover that in the morning. So yeah, 298 viewers, guys. Show some support
right now
by hitting that like button. We'll go ahead and get to the questions now. I'm going to go to Discord, TJ.
Let's do it. Yep, go ahead. Start out the Discord. I will get to the top of the tube and see what's going on.
Braun, Middleton, AD, Zion. How can you get those guys into a core? Who are you taking? All right. YouTube. Cash core. We just went over that. Ingles, DiVincenzo, or Wiseman, and tiers. Straight up. Ooh, that's tough.
Who was it?
Ingles, DiVincenzo, or Wiseman, and tiers. Straight up then.
I'd probably say Wiseman. I'd leave Ingles out of that.
Yeah,
it's between
Wiseman.
Wiseman and Dante. It's one of those guys.
Yep. I wish Obi Toppin was getting more minutes. He's only 3.2K, but from what I saw on RotoWire, he's only projected 13 minutes. My sleeper that is cheap is at 3.5K. I'm leaning on going with Warriors guard Damian Lee. As TJ knows, I got the Josh Green pick right last night. Yes, you did, Joey T. Also, DJ.
Joey, yeah.
DJ. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just hopefully Damian Lee doesn't get ejected tonight like he did last night.
Yeah, that's a good, great point. DJ Augustine, 3K on RotoWire. He's projected at 21 minutes. You have any love for him, TJ?
No. He hasn't been playing tournament. Sure, you want to take a punt? Yeah, but he hasn't shown me anything, honestly. Not in a couple weeks, so no interest there for me. He's very cheap, and it's a high paced matchup, and it's the highest one that we have on the slate. Yeah. But more of a tournament play.
Wiggins losing love in cash. Yeah, he's not as high owned as he once was. He's still 23.9% owned, so he could make a last piece for cash. 6,200 is very cheap for him, so I do like him. I still like him. I don't think you prioritize him, though. For cash, LeBron, Wiggins, Middleton, Randle, Wiseman, Caruso, Bogdanovich, Lopez, question mark, or Harrell. Ooh, Lopez or Harrell. Yeah.
The last piece. I think, oh man, I want to say Brook Lopez has.
I think Brook Lopez
has a higher floor, but I would say Trez has a higher ceiling. Yeah. Brook Lopez will play more minutes, but Trez is definitely a better fantasy point per minute. Man, that's so tough. I would.
Depends on the tournament, to be honest.
In cash, I think you go. Montrez is showing more ownership in terms of cash, so I would say Trez for cash, and I would say Rolo for.
Is he
for tournaments? Yeah, for Roto, I see him at 28% owned.
Oh, they did get updated a little bit here
on Roto. But dude, he's 5,200. Is so cheap for him.
Where are any of these guys? Lopez is all the way down here at 15.7. Harrell's below him at 14.9. So they're about the same.
Okay, so they're about the same.
Yeah. All right, last piece for cash. Util 4,300, TJ. 4,300.
Last piece for cash. Util 4,300. Duh. I would say probably Bobby. I'd probably say Bobby Portis off the bench.
I wouldn't take him.
4,300.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, what else? It's either him or Ingles.
I'd probably say Ingles.
It's him or Ingles, unless you want to go down to KCP at 3,700.
Or DiVincenzo. Oh wait, that's not the same. Nope.
Can't. I would say for.
I would take it off that. That's a bad position.
Yeah, that's not a very good range. I'd say Bobby Portis.
Okay. All right. Favorite Portis tournament plays overall, TJ. Favorite tournament plays.
So I mean, between Matt. LeBron is showing 42% owned, AD showing 18% owned. So right there, give me AD as a pivot off of LeBron. Giannis showing half the ownership of Chris Middleton. So spend up for Giannis, only showing 23% owned. Steph falling by the wayside again, Matt, 9,600. I'm showing him 12.5% owned in Roto. So I really like him. Him and AD pivots off of LeBron all day. Who else or do we see here? Schroeder showing 5% ownership. That's crazy. I like Mitchell Robinson at 6K, honestly, at 7% owned. Trying to think of who, man, I would love to say Alec Burks because he's so good fantasy point per minute wise.
He's a good player. Yeah.
But, he's going to be on a minute restriction. He's only played 3 games this year, so there's no chance they roll him out 32 minutes off the bench.
Steven Adams for me, Bogdanovich, and Brandon Ingram. Those are my favorite.
What's Bogdy's ownership?
Very low, 16 for me.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep. I think he's safe. Elf, Payton, or Alonzo at point guard. I'm going to say Elfrid Payton because of his minutes. Don't know what Lonzo's minutes are going to be, but we know if Lonzo does get minutes, he's in a great spot. Only $5,500. If he plays over 30 minutes, I'd say lock him in.
Matt, I gotta cut you off real quick because we have a comment in the chat that says that somebody likes Chips for tournaments tonight. Yeah, Chips at 3K. He'll probably play 24 minutes off the couch, so I think he would be definitely viable in tournaments.
Yeah, my corgi works for me. Been sleeping on the job recently, so don't like that.
Yeah.
I can't post my screenshot for some reason. FanDuel Cash, Schroeder. This is FanDuel. Schroeder.
Yep,
Don't know his price tag is. Peyton, Clarkson, DiVincenzo, Middleton, LeBronis, Giannis, Kuzma, Wiseman. That's all over the place. I don't know the price tags. I don't know the salary on FanDuel. I'm assuming if you've done your research, man, they look to be good value because I know you do your research on FanDuel. I don't know. No FanDuel here. That's all I have, by the way. Sorry. Awkward silence.
Yes, you love to do that, don't you? Lonzo Balltime says to know. Yeah, try and do some digging and try and figure out what Lonzo's minutes are going to be tonight. I like Middleton. Amir, we are right there with you, man. He's going to be a cash lock for us.
I think Middleton's the most obvious play, honestly.
Tatum's not 19. Yeah, I know. That's a joke. Tatum's 19 for 3 years. Yep. Tatum is 19 years old, guys. He's not 22. Deuce, who is the son, continues to age, but Tatum is ageless. Hunter said he's here to rave. Love that. TJ, on a scale of from cash core to must play, how would you rate Royce O'Neal? Horford or Horford? I wasn't so confident in Caruso, but if you guys say so, I'm in. You guys have led me to cash more often than not. Thank you, Justin.
Awesome.
He's just really cheap, man. I'm not in love with the play, but it's gonna be a good matchup with the Bucks if he can hit some shots off the bench and play 22 minutes if he plays hot. Yeah, he's 0.85 fantasy point per minute. So I like him as a cheap play on a slate where I do want to try and spend up if I can. Dante DiVincenzo, a good play tonight. Yeah, Boogie, we do like him. Any word on Rivers? Rivers is doubtful. Oh, thank you, Snow. Already handled that. J3 again, thank you for that donation. Do you like Quickly? Tournament play for Quickly tonight with Burks being back.
I don't mind him for tournaments. I just don't like him for cash.
Brian said, I like the Knicks guys for GPP, specifically Randall, Barrett, Elf, Reggie Bullock. What are your guys' thoughts on them? Yeah, Reggie Bullock's cheap, man. He plays a lot of minutes, so I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I think Randall's cash viable, and then Barrett and Alfred Payton for tournaments. Yeah, if you want to go there, yeah. I do like Mitchell Robinson, too, for tournaments in there. Showtime. Always want to talk about tournaments. Matt, do you want to explain the difference between cash and tournaments?
Yes, tournaments. You are rewarded more for placing higher in tournaments. Like, let's say we have $100,000 in prize pools. First place might go to somebody who's going to win $50,000. And then the further along they get, they win less. And only about 25% of the top of the field cashes. Whereas in double ups, if you place in the top 50%, top 50% of the cash line, you double up your money. So if you put in $5, you get $10. Boom. And in terms of strategy, though, you want to take low-owned guys that are going to fly under the radar, that are going to push you to the front of cash, depending on the contest selection. For double ups, you want to take all high-owned guys because those guys are safer, and if you nail enough of them, it should easily put you in the top 50%.
Very good, Matt. Let's see. Grant said Dad's here now. Thank you. Paradox, we did cover some tournament plays, so I think you were in here for that, so that's good. Would you guys play Giannis, Braun, Middleton, and cash, or replace Giannis with Randle? I mean, if you can fill a roster that you're confident in with Giannis, Braun, and Middleton, then, hats off to you for sure. I think probably replacing Randle with Giannis makes a little bit more sense. I think it gives you a little more flexibility. But if you do have that option and if you love your lineup with those three guys, then yeah, they're all in a fantastic spot.
I want to see if I still have this old graphic. Can we take a look at the Knicks again? Hold on. Knicks.
Ace said KCP. Yeah, cheap guy that's going to play minutes. Michael, KCP or Dante? I'm assuming that's FanDuel. I would roll with Dante DiVincenzo there. Peyton for cash. I'd rather try and find a little more.
Oh, yeah, I have it. Real quick, if you guys want to take a look at this way. Sorry, the Knicks on my screen. If you guys play the Knicks, the only person that's viable is the top one at the very top. It's going to be Julius Randle. But other than that, Toppin's down there. Yep. The rest of the Knicks squad. I think that's all the analysis I have on the Knicks. Switch back though.
Saw that. Okay. Wiseman or Lopez, assuming that's FanDuel again. If they are around the same price there on FanDuel, what is we'll
check out the Celtics on the next slate.
Okay, don't you? Brook Lopez is 4,900 on FanDuel. Wiseman is 4,600, so they are priced pretty appropriately. I'd go Brook Lopez. I think he's going to play probably 10 to 12 minutes more than Wiseman. Bobby Portis or Quickly Love. Yeah, I like Bobby Portis more than Quickly tonight. I don't hate Quickly either at 4,100. Just don't know how they're going to deploy Alec Burks. Told you all the Hawks were going to get the dub and Trey was going to go for 60. Matt Davis said, you're lucky they got overtime. But yes,
One of them. Kyrie
Trey
Irving didn't need
screwed me,
overtime.
man. No, Trey Young screwed me with that OT.
I had him too.
I lost out on a couple hundo because
Can I get a shout out for that? I said Trey Young was one of my top GPP options on the last stream. Yeah,
Adams or Lopez, Matt. I think we both say Lopez.
For who? Oh, Adams. Yeah, Lopez is safer. I like Steven Adams though for GPPs, 100%.
Matt Harrell or CSGO. Yay, man! I love CSGO.
What happened,
guys? If you are not subscribed to CSGO and Matt's cheat sheets,
let's go!
I mean,
push me
phenomenal.
The cash. You
Shocks
my
with
lineup.
7. Wow, what a play! Let's go. Harrell or Dante for util. Matt, you're gonna say Dante. I know that. I'm gonna say Trez.
I don't hate Trez. I just like Dante's
both
minutes.
viable.
Yeah.
Okay. KCP and Oubre or Caruso and Wiggins. Oh boy. Man, I don't want to say it. I don't like Wiggins. I like Oubre more than I like Wiggins, and I like Caruso more than I like KCP. So both the cheaper of the two. I would say KCP and Oubre though. Unfortunately.
I need to check Discord.
Sano said you had a stroke while 293 helpless people watched Matt. No one could help you. Tonight should be very tight, Amir. I agree. I'm going Braun, Middleton, AD, Zion as my core. Shane, yeah, if you can make that happen, man, that's a good core. Giannis for cash. Yeah, Michael, if you can get up and pay for him, sure. I think we lean LeBron and Middleton here, but Giannis, fantastic play for sure. We got a DK cash lineup here from Justin, Matt. DiVincenzo, Caruso, Middleton, Zion, Lopez, Holiday, LeBron, Montrez, or Adams from util. I think I like Montrez Harrell there, and I do like that lineup.
GPP, Caruso, DiVincenzo, Middleton, AD, Lopez, LeBron. All right, one thing I would change off the rip here. AD and LeBron together. Don't play them together if you don't want to maximize your upside. Bogdanovich and Draymond Green. That's the only critique I have for that lineup. I like the rest of the plays, though. FanDuel, cash, single entry. Again, don't know the pricing on that. Peyton, Schroeder, KCP, DiVincenzo, Middleton, Oubre, AD, Giannis, Wiseman. I like that overall. Elfrid Payton as a last piece in cash. Don't hate him, but probably not for cash. FanDuel, GPP. Again, we don't cover FanDuel. Holiday, Caruso, Dante, KCP, LeBron, Middleton, Zion, AD, Wiseman. Yes, I actually like those plays overall. 6,200 for util. Last piece. Whiskey or bourbon? Whiskey or bourbon?
Bourbon.
Nice. Could see James Wiseman be getting more playing time with some players possibly getting rest. Yeah, but Wiseman played a lot of minutes himself last game, at least more than he should. So that's my only hesitation. Like 25 is a lot for him. So
yeah, a lot of those guys last night didn't play their full allotted minutes because of the blowout. So I wouldn't be too worried about anybody on Golden State sitting or not getting their full allotted minutes because of maybe Kerr giving them some rest.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's it.
You good there, Matt? Or back to tube? Or okay. NAW or Dante for cash? Dante. Chips ain't leaving the couch. Said Slothy. I agree. Clarkson, Matt. I think Jordan Clarkson is still a little overpriced. Ingles is back now. Ingles back. Like Mike Conley, only $400 more than him. I don't hate Ingles. I don't hate Jordan Clarkson as a tournament play, but I'm not going to go there for cash. He's only starting 6% ownership, Matt. So I do really like him as a tournament play. He's been very good.
Yeah.
But again, Ingles being back, it doesn't really affect him too much in terms of minutes. If Jordan Clarkson can hit his shots, man, he can pay off that price tag quickly. Single game captain on Lakers versus Milwaukee. I think it's LeBron. LeBron or Giannis, I would say. Donovan Mitchell, good pivot in tournaments off of Middleton, for sure. First time here, love the show. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Top faded player on Draftkings for tournaments. I mean, it's probably going to be, as much as I want to say LeBron, I don't think you can at 9,200, but he's going to carry the most ownership, Matt. So
him and AD, one of the two.
AD's showing significantly less ownership.
It's only 9%, but
really, I have on Roto right now. I have LeBron at 42.5, and I have AD at 20.
Yep, I have AD at 28, LeBron at 37. I mean, regardless, I don't think they're going to be that far off. They can't be, right? It's physically impossible.
You're physically impossible.
You are.
Gorgie Zhang, good value punt. Yeah, what is Zhang's price tag right now?
Is he still playing?
31. I just don't know if the minutes are going to be there again, especially with Ingles. Zhang, Niang.
Oh, I was looking at
Gorgie Zhang. Yeah, you probably did with the G.
Yeah, I did.
It's pronounced Gorgie Zhang. Yeah. Who else do we have?
What a savage.
Yeah, he's just not going to play minutes. Brad Wanamaker, good cheap play. I mean, he'll play 15 minutes. I just don't. Tournament, sure, not for cash. Conley or Drew Holiday? I like Drew Holiday. Davis or Braun straight up, Matt? I think we can both agree LeBron for cash, AD for tournaments?
Yep.
Okay. Is Cedi Osman a good pickup? 8-man points league. Yeah, he's been playing good.
That's the first fantasy question we've gotten.
Last night, even with Sexton back. So yeah, I don't hate
Sexton
that.
is, by the way.
Until Love is back. Yeah, I don't hate that. Trez, Randall, Giannis, Gasol. I don't really like Gasol.
Here, hold on. I got some analysis for Gasol. Okay, go ahead.
What the minutes are going to be for Burks. Ingles, good play tonight on DraftKings or IQ. Ingles doesn't really pop, to be honest with you, and unsure about his minutes. He'll probably play around 24. So that's what they have him projected for. He played 20 minutes last game. So if he plays 24 minutes at a 0.86 fantasy point per minute, I would have him pegged at 20.65 DraftKings points. Look at the trash. Wiseman or Trez for cash? I think you go Wiseman there just because of the ownership.
We just got a comment that came in. I love Lamp. Me too. I like Lamps too. Go ahead.
Zion or Middleton, though? Please answer. I'd say Middleton for cash. Barrett or Wiggins for cash? Wiggins is carrying more ownership. I do like Wiggins more, too. Based on that picture, I should take Burks out of my lineup. Yeah, if we don't get anything, or if Burks is... have we gotten anything, Matt, for Burks on... I mean, guys, he hasn't played since December 27th, so I don't expect him to play a lot of minutes. Revenge game, right? He just played for Golden State. No, I don't think he's going to see a lot of minutes, so I don't feel confident playing him, especially in cash. Matt, it is 6:56. We have later. What's called? You want to cover the cash plays one last time?
One last time, yeah. My cash locks were... Let's see if I have a seizure this time. Julius.
You can do it.
I'm trying really hard not to. Middleton.
What's happening?
I'm trying to find them again.
Okay.
Bogdanovich, which is down there, and by the way, he is lower owned. It was my last one. Oh, LeBron.
I show Bogdy at 31%.
Those are my cash locks.
Mine would be LeBron, Middleton. I do like Julius Randle at 8,800. I do like Drew Holiday too at 6,600. I would say LeBron, Middleton, Bogdy, and I'd probably say Drew, man. I'd say Drew Holiday at 6,600.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to try and get LeBron, Randall, Middleton, Drew Holiday in my lineup. Wiseman, Bogdy. That's probably my lineup, guys. I just gave you 6 of the guys I'm playing, honestly. That's going to be my lineup. LeBron, Randall, Middleton, Drew Holiday, Wiseman, Bogdy, Caruso if I have to, and then see what I have.
The one thing about TJ is he literally gives out his lineup throughout the stream if you guys are paying attention. So that's the benefit of staying the entire time. He just gave his entire cash
So if you think I'm trash, then just fade me.
No, but he just did cash in CSGO, so he's pretty much the best DK player in the world.
Well, the only reason I cashed in CSGO, Matt, is because of your fantastic cheat sheets that you can find on our Patreon. If you are not a Patreon member, guys, the link is below. $20 get you cheat sheets to all of our sports. Again, utilizing Matt's cheat sheet that he provided for League of Legends this morning and for CSGO, I'm actually up $275.
That was marketing there, but he's actually telling the truth.
It's not a lie. I legit have it. I have proof. I will put them in the chat. So yeah.
All right, guys.
$20 to join.
That being said, I think we're going to sign off. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. Hopefully everybody has a great night. And we got a $5 donation. Crap, late again.
Green Wizard.
I need 3 guys. Please. 3 guys. LeBron, Chris Middleton, Bogdanovich, TJ? You like that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I think those are my 3 favorite plays.
Chris Middleton, Wiseman, one of them.
With all that being said, let's cash.
Bye, guys.